First of all, yes, I know we're on a Sunday instead of a Thursday, and I know you missed the Thursday video, but this is the Thursday video, and you say, Minion, why are you doing it on a Sunday? And it's basically because Azir is such a tight ass that he didn't want to do it on the Sunday because of his schedule. So today's the only day that he actually agreed to do the green screen. So here it is. Enjoy the video.
You have already failed, Xerath. You must now accept it.
This time, Azir, I will need no surprise to topple you. Who killed Azir?
Oh, I just been informed Azir was actually killed by Shurath. Well, on that terrible disappointment, what a deck, Shurima! Shurima is somewhat of a combo deck and a straightforward deck, where your whole game plan is focused on unlocking the Sandisk and ascending, leveling up to 3 Azir and Xerath, and summoning the Emperor's deck. The Emperor's deck consists of a total of 15 non-collectible cards which are pretty good guarantors you're going to win. Ascend the Skull will always be at the bottom of the deck, so blame, predict or cards that shuffle your deck will increase the chances to draw these cards, and to be able to overwhelm your opponent even harder with Ascended Renekton and Nasus. Here's the deck preview, although as always I will run you through some alternative cards later. Also, as a side note, remember you must have a full Shurima card deck to be able to summon a Sandisk on the beginning of the game. Your main champions for this deck are 3 copies of Azir and Xerath. Azir's signature card is Arise. You summon a Sun Soldier and create a fleeing Arise in hand. Xerath's signature card is Rite of Arcane. You destroy either one of your landmarks or one of your mana gems to deal 4 to an enemy unit. Before starting with the game plan, I want to quickly run you through some tips. I recommend to hold Azir until he's level 2 unless you really need him to defend, as we will be rushing Xerath level up. And Azir level up a bit after, like maybe 1-2 turns after Xerath, and his drop does not aid towards Xerath. Xerath needs to destroy landmarks to level up, so he will be quite consistent with your Perseveranium, Ashen Preparations and Unravel Earth. Azir early on can be played like Miss Fortune and Trundle, just being bench, summoning Sun Soldiers when you attack. Every Sun Soldier counts towards his level up. At the beginning of the game with some Mulligan, you must attempt to find a Soothsayer to avoid early on landmark removal, as it will greatly damage your game to have your Sandisk restarted. Don't get Azir nor Xerath unless you have 3 very good cards on your opening hand. As mentioned earlier, Unravel Earth is a great card to consistently level up Xerath, so you want to keep it. Ancient Preparations is another card to keep. And lastly, Perseveranium against non-aggro matchups, or Treasure Seeker against aggro decks. To summarize, you want Unravel Earth, Soothsayer, Ascent Preparations and Perseveranium against non-aggro decks, or Treasure Keeper against aggro. On this deck, you're running with 5 bench spaces rather than your usual 6, as your Sandisk will always, hopefully, be there. So bench management is key to your success, but you got cards to help you remove your early units to accept better ones, or to use them to defend / sacrifice them, as you will use the board space soon. And to be sacrificed provides more value than just removing the card to place another. So let's move into the game plan. On turn 1 you will usually open with Ancient Preparations, unless you're going against aggro and you'd rather develop an early Treasure Seeker or Dune Keeper. Turn 2 and 3 is a very heavy options turn. Soothsayer will come handy if you're going second to stop any landmark remover from now on. If you're going first, it gets more awkward to try to stop Scorched Earths, as you cannot reactively respond to them, and it might not be much you can do, but it can be answered with Rite of Negation on turn 3 with one bank mana. Another great card to aid you and to get some board control is Rock Hopper, as your next unit your enemy plays will trigger them, and 1, it will grant them vulnerable, and 2, will speed up Xerath level up, so they are not going to be helping themselves, and if they choose not to develop units, it will work on your favor as well, as you need more turns to flourish with this deck, so it's a win-win. You could also drop a Perseveranium, as we will most likely dropping down turn 3 and Unravel Earth to summon Rolling Sands anyways. Your aim, which you will get better the more you play this deck, is to try to consistently level up Xerath by turn 4. As an example, an Ashen Preparations turn 1, Perseveranium or Rock Hopper turn 2 and Unravel Earth turn 3 will grant you a level up Xerath turn 4, which will reduce the Sandisk 9 turns. You can also use Rite of Calling to find Xerath if he's ready to be level up but you don't have him on hand. Lastly, a cheeky Ancient Hourglass on a unit to speed up the level 2 turn 4 Xerath drop works in some cases, although in most cases Hourglass is reserved for Xerath and Azir, but I wanted to have this on mind. Turn 4, well, I have already kinda told you it. Hopefully you will be dropping down a level up Xerath or using Rite of Calling to find him, using Golden and Mastodon to either draw Xerath or Azir, otherwise save Xerath and play for his level up. Remember, landmarks also work towards Azirs, so do not stress as you will be working for them both. Turn 6 is when you could realistically win the game. If you manage to level up Xerath, and Azir should be 1 or 2 units away at most by now to level up, your Xerath drop will provide one of them, so there's a high chance of double level up with Ascension. If not, this turn, Xerath level 2 will provide you a lot of pressure with your remaining ticking landmarks, and Azir should level up by next turn. Turn 7 and 8 is when your Sandisk should be complete if you had any setbacks during the game. Turn 9 plus, you got the Sandisk, well played, you should win the game from here on. The amount of tools the Emperor's deck has combined with Ascendant Azir and Xerath will grant you the victory. Due to still having a backup even against a tough matchup, Ascendant's Call, as I mentioned earlier, will summon an Ascendant Nasus and Renekton, which, if you cannot finish the game with 4 Ascendant, what are you doing, or how good is the enemy's deck? Send me that deco, please. This deck is very straightforward and very easy game plan, and its difficulty lies on how consistently can you complete the Sandisk or how consistent can you involve your characters, so to plan ahead is important rather than just dropping cards aimlessly. Moving into your card choices, Feral Presence is a 0 mana cost card which can consistently predict turn 1 to aid you to grab Rolling Sands, Quicksand or other cards you might need. As a quick tip, when you are stacked up with predicts cards, try to play them once per turn as it will be more efficient. Scrying Sun is like a little version of Quicksand that costs 1 mana and can help you early on. Devoted Council is a 3 mana cost card that can help you with a bit sustain against aggro decks and is also the only Shurima healing card. Bomber Twins is a 2 mana cost card that can get you a Lashing Preparations or Preservarium, but sometimes won't and lose a lot of value, and as mentioned early, turn 2 and 3 is a very heavy choices already. Lastly, if you need AoE removal, a Spirit Fire might be the answer you need, although it's a 7 mana cost card, -2 to enemies and deals 2 to them at the round end. Moving into your bad matchups, Riven Victor. Wait, does anyone even play this deck? Anyways, for this matchup you want to force attack your expendable units, meaning you want to attack, you want to be more aggressive. And this is one of those you have to put Azir when you need to defend kind of matchup, so you probably will be dropping both Xerath and Azir on level. Your deck has a lot of tools to buy you time and win tempo by disrupting the enemy's win con. Your second tough matchup is going to be Yuumi Pantheon. It's another hassle, and as I said earlier, you can buy a lot of time with your deck, but extending your inevitable loss won't be enough. You want to rush the level up on Xerath and try for that turn 6 Sandisk Ascension I was talking earlier, and then switch to full aggro. Against this deck, you do not want to play the long game, as they will bring huge overwhelming units you cannot answer unless you got Quicksand. Due to their dex removal options, you will hold Xerath and Azir until level up. You are also very weak against nap decks, as you tend to draw a lot of cards, already reducing quickly your deck. Additionally, they can nab your Ascent Skulls as soon as you ascend, because always, as I mentioned earlier, this card will be at the bottom of your deck. For your favorite matchups, you got Ezreal Kaelin, Aphelios Victor, and Feel the Rush. Now you understand why I did this deck, it's because I haven't mentioned it on the counter matchups in the last videos. Go and watch them. Thank you so much for watching this new episode of One A Deck. I will see you next Thursday, and now we're on a Sunday, with a new One A Deck episode. I hope you managed to get those turn 4 level up Xerath and a turn 6 Sandisk. And just smash your enemies, just destroy them with this Mono Shurima deck. I hope you have a lovely beginning of your week. I will see you, hopefully, on Thursday. Goodbye!